shit, we do have a bunch of people. If this
Crikey.
is correct.
Yeah, we sure do.
Crikey.
Welcome back, fam. It's
What's up?
been 2 weeks, approximately exactly, since our last stream.
I
Had a
call
little
you.
bit of a break last week, but we're back giving feedback on your music tracks.
Back, feeding on your music.
Yeah. And yeah, we've got quite the queue. We actually had a bit of an influx, I believe, maybe last time that we didn't get to. And we got one couple days ago from Id Sheeran, which is cool. So,
Friend of the stream.
Yeah, friend of the stream. Do you want to read off the queue, Chris?
Yep, I do. If this is correct, did we do Minuet Cafe before? I feel like we might have, but we have Minuet Cafe, Jokerhead, Gowie, DOA, Waste Yourself, YS Santana, and Id Sheeran. So that's 7 people. If that's correct, let me check this first one. But we usually get through like 5 submissions. Okay, this doesn't look familiar to me actually, and it's in Japanese, so I'm excited. And there's some groovy anime art here, so yeah. So 7 people, that's a lot, guys. Like I said, we only get through 5 typically. So if you're not on the list, if you're here watching, you're not on the list, and if you want to get reviewed today, you could send us a tip to skip the queue. My fucking life is in shambles, so I don't have the button with me. But if you just do the, you got
send it.
Yep. Thank you. I can figure that out for the later ones. But yeah, if you use that link, you can donate us $5 minimum. We'll get you to the front of the line. Some people need feedback right away. Some people got deadlines, and we understand. But we also have a promise to get through every single submission that is submitted to us at this point in our career. So yeah, if it's not tip to skip, then you will be in the order that you submitted. I guess first in, first out, FIFO. But yep. So again, Minuet Cafe, Jokerhead, Gowie, DOA, Waste Yourself, YS Santana, Ichire. But yeah, that can lead us to the first track. If there's nobody in the chat letting us, it's like, yeah, it's early in the stream. So
that music gets the algorithm going.
Oh, which one?
It seems like when we have music playing, the algorithm is like, yes.
Oh, I see. That makes sense, right? We're in the music topic.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, where the fuck's my thing? All right, yeah, well, let's go to the first track then. Minuet Cafe, artist name, song title, You Love Me? Question mark. It's a finished release. Funky and groovy, is this not? Music. Funky and groovy music from Japan samples. Fire. Excited. Let's see if there's Watashi o hoshite masu ka? Do you love me? Or are you loving me? It's more what I think it'd say. But all right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, you love me? Minuet Cafe, 3, 2, 1. This sounds good to me, I think. Bro, this is like a Shop.
Fucking bassline.
Fucking slapping.
And those drums. Nice.
Oh, this is that Happy Friday music. Wish I could hear the vocal a little bit. But that brass sounds great. Cool, man. That was a vibe.
Cool.
Some classic. What's that called?
Right now at Ashley,
J-pop,
spring.
Uh,
J something, city pop. That's what I'm thinking of.
yeah.
Or not classic. It's more so Mo Shop. One of the guys in the comments
Well,
said
there's a
something.
skyline in the back. City pop.
Where's that?
There's a skyline in the background of
There you go.
the
Yeah,
art.
city pop with a futuristic twist. That's like very Mo Shop-ish. Love that
Hmm.
kind of stuff. Um, yeah, cool track. Nice way to start off a Friday, I'd say.
Yeah.
Um, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it grooved well. Like it was. There were a lot of exciting like moments in there where like oh man, there was like one or two points where there was like this really nice, like funky walk down, where it,
Mm,
like walk down through the scale or whatever, like chordally, and that was like a little bit Wolfpack ish.
mm.
Just those drums and the bass are so thick, so
Yep.
nice.
Mm,
And yeah, I thought it was like well put together. I was sort of like if I wasn't told that this was like samples, and again, I don't know like what percentage of this is sampled, right? Like I don't know. They said funky and groovy music from Japan samples.
mm,
It sounded like well put enough together that I could believe somebody like built most of this.
mm.
More like in depth than that, and then maybe the vocal was like sampled, but I thought it was like well put together overall.
Yeah, I wonder. There's a whole ass cast list on this description here.
Yeah, it does seem like it was. It really is. Maybe
Yeah,
they're just crediting different people.
that's what I'm trying to see. The samples is "I'm in Love" by Aru Takamura. They say composed by Aru Takamura, but then there's a bunch of other people. Maybe they're involved in the composition of the original sample too. I don't know.
And they do have 1,300 followers, so it's
Sheesh,
cool.
they're doing something right. But
Exclusive
yeah,
license to Record Club and Neo Motel. So, just looking at this description, I sort of get the feel that maybe they do actually have a bunch of people like putting this together. Because again, it sounds like the execution's pretty impressive, pretty
oh
good.
yeah, pretty professional sounding
Yeah.
for sure.
Huh.
But yeah, yeah, I love this shit. Mo Shop-ish, like I said, love Mo Shop. The only thing I could say, like from a critique standpoint, is that maybe it's a little repetitive. Um,
Yeah.
I could see this easily being in like a montage or like a background music type of thing to a YouTube video, and people would fucking love it. But like as like a main thing to listen to, it's like not too much to zone in. There are some parts that come in and spice things up a little bit, like when they first come in, when the first bass line comes in, it's like, ooh, goddamn. But then you heard the same thing for 3 minutes, or I guess 2 minutes in terms of my attention span, and it's like, okay, what else is there? And there's like when the brass comes in, the walk down that Josh was talking about, and then that synth solo. It kept things, I think, fresh enough. But yeah, maybe I could issue a challenge to Minuet Cafe if you want to like take things to the next level, like really work on like just blowing us away with something unique there.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. But yeah, that might be more subjective. I think everything else is well put together. Mix wise, it sounds fantastic to me too. Um, except maybe I could hear the vocal a little bit more. I would like a little bit more character there. Maybe that's why I felt it was kind of lacking like a main line a little bit. But yeah, overall, I think the vibes were pretty fantastic from the art to the song. Appreciate it. I think I'll put my vibes at like 88 between green and yellow. What about you?
Yeah, no, I can agree with all of that stuff. I think vibes, I'd probably say an 85. I
Hmm.
think there's a lot to like vibes wise. It grooves well. I do think it is a little bit repetitive, like you said. Not, and I don't know, like I don't know how exciting it is as a whole package. Like again, there's a lot of good groove, but afterwards I'm sort of like, yeah, that was a nice groove and there's some cool stuff done, but I don't know if it necessarily really wowed me.
Right.
And there's always a like a cultural component of like I don't understand what they're saying, so it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like you're just listening and not necessarily getting a lot of meaning from it, but um, I don't know. There's some mixing stuff that I think is playing into this too. So I'm gonna say like 80% between yellow and green for me for vibes.
I see. I see. Cool. Content. I have. I mean, I said a lot of content stuff already. Mostly, it's just the repetitive stuff. I think the building blocks are fantastic, and you heard us getting wowed and grooved by the things that were coming in. Everything seems pretty solid put together. Um, it's just the, I guess, unique factor and uh, repetitiveness for me in content. Otherwise, everything is pretty damn good. So, where does that put me? I'm feeling an 88 as well between green and yellow for content. What about you?
Uh, yeah, I think like the sound choices I like. Again, the groove I like. Maybe the song structure could be revised a little bit to be a little bit more unique and less repetitive.
Yeah, I just wanted to take chances, man.
Yeah, I think for all of that, I'm gonna say 80 again.
For sure. Sounds good. Production. That elephant in the room.
Sort of. I mean, like the well, okay, like really nitpicky, but I think at the beginning with the like filter sweep,
Hmm.
it started a little bit too narrow, or maybe it was like the sweep started at the wrong like point, if that makes sense. There's like
Hmm.
some kind of loud, hissy, maybe resonance
Hmm.
as it sweeps through. That's like a little bit. It's just like not super pleasing. Like I've heard these filter sweeps that open up that are like really like perfect, and I didn't really feel like it was perfect. It was a little bit like either too long or too like awkward. Again, like you're hitting frequencies that are undesirable in that sweep, and could be because it's taking too long and you're like staying on unfavorable frequencies for longer than you should be. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think like there's that part of it. Again, the bass sounded great and the drums sounded great. I do think there's some clashing in the mid range. There's like a lot of like sort of upper mid range. There's like that sort of there's sort of like a hissy, like a white noise-ish sound throughout, I feel like.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know if that's the just combination of different instruments or if that's actually something you added, but it does sound a little bit like crowded in the mid-range and especially the upper mid-range. And then weirdly when the vocal comes in, it's like the boomiest female vocal I've ever heard. Like
Yeah.
it sounds like most of its spectrum is living below all that like hissiness and stuff, which is like seems sort of backwards,
Hmm.
and it's living like almost below like the snare drum. Like
It's definitely,
it's a
yeah.
fat snare drum, like a thick, sort of bassy ish snare drum, but that vocal is like in the low mids. It feels like the at least like the EQ. It's strange.
It, yeah, it really is. Yeah. And like the brass is nice and bright and everywhere, and the piano is like nice to the
Yeah, and
side.
then it's like this muffled ass vocal,
Yeah,
and I don't
yeah.
know like if I were able to understand it, if I would even be able to
That's the thing.
understand it. You know.
That's what I was saying too. It's just like, yeah, maybe it would have been great, and she does sing different things that we could maybe understand differently,
Hmm.
but just gets buried.
Yeah.
It's all production. That's why it's important, guys.
Yes.
But yeah, all's that to say. You have anything else, and what's the score?
I think score for production, I would say. Let me think. I think I would say 75.
I think I'm about there too. Maybe 80. I think a lot of it sounds really good, actually.
Yeah,
It's
no, I agree.
it's almost exclusively just the vocal.
Yeah. Yeah,
You were
that's
saying there
true.
might be like muddiness, which I could see that too, but I think it's the vocal that's doing it. That's giving a lot of the
Well,
muddiness.
I was saying a little bit of like upper, like mid range clashing, not really the muddiness so much, but just a lot of
Mm.
frequencies there.
Got it. Got it. Yep. I think I'm about 80 on production, 85 maybe. Um,
Overall?
track total. Yeah, track total. I got a. It's catchy. That's about that same score. I'll give it an 88 between green and yellow. I think it's pretty damn good. Um, and looks like 16.7K people agree. People like it, or at least 607 maybe. But yeah.
Yeah. I think I'll give it a just as a sort of average of my scores, a 79 between develop and good to go.
Yep, is what it is. You love me? Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
We'll start. We'll start like.
I like,
Like
yeah, exactly.
like you.
Nice.
Love is such a strong word,
Yes.
but yeah, we love you, Minuet Cafe. Thank you for submitting to us.
We
And
do.
sorry we took so long. I know you were one of the ones that unfortunately got skipped in line. Looks like by the tip to skip
Shoulda,
guys, but
woulda, coulda tipped.
it just is what it is. Some people need it right away, and we got to give it to them.
Yep.
But there's a demand. There's a demand. I don't think we have much people in the chat right now, but just to put it out there, let's see. Where's this? I found my thingy. It's just Twitch tools tip. If you guys want to skip the queue because we have a lot of people in it, it is pretty much full. Let me get you in right away. It's a $5 minimum. But
Mm-hmm.
while we wait for those people, we can get into the next song. It is Jokerhead.
That Joker head.
Another one. Another one.
Yep.
Into the Void. Work in progress. Why did he double space his response here? And for some reason, I'm not able to click in. It's kind of annoying.
Huh, I can read it.
Oh, I'm not signed in. That's why. Yeah, if you could read it, that'd be great.
Hey guys, thanks so much for the great in-depth feedback as usual. Yes, you are welcome. Josh did make a good point, did I now?
Not Chris.
I do I do over listen to my tracks. Oh yeah, this is a point I'd make. I do over listen to my tracks and probably self-justify it. Haha. In the Mandalorian, the high end was on some kind of infinite delay, I think. I really have no idea what I'm doing. All good, that's why we're here. We'll try to focus on getting those basics down. Sometimes I'm under the influence too and think, yeah, this is good. And it needs so much work. Yeah, that can happen also. Your brain is on all that dopamine. You're just like, everything is awesome.
Yeah.
This
Under
is
the influence.
amazing. I do like the challenge thing. Maybe when I do get back to the production, I shall. I mainly just do piano roll, arpeggiate, pitch bend, etc. Don't import midis, but I will. I think we told him to
Recreate a song that.
yeah, to recreate a song as a challenge. Yeah, we gave him a lot of feedback that was like some of which felt kind of harsh at the time, but this is a good example of he's like, oh, that's like a great idea. I should do that. And like this is helpful. And I was on drugs when I did that, so it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's great.
makes sense.
And then he said, I like to think I'm also helping you guys improve your critique. Oh yeah, you do challenge us
Definitely.
as well.
Yeah.
He said, haha. Anyway, this is another of my 4 or 5 tracks left aside, hopefully a bit easier on your ears. Don't hold back. Okay. Won't
Hey, we
hold
like
back.
listening to your stuff, Joker.
Yeah.
We do.
It's cool to see you evolve and all of that.
Yeah.
And
The challenge was that, like, in terms of Jokerhead's production, sometimes the main line musically, it's very like it doesn't seem to follow music theory a lot. So we're like, oh, maybe get like a MIDI pack that has like a built-in MIDI like front line that you can use and build it off of, instead of what we think you're doing, which is building it from scratch. Because we
well,
think a lot of your other foundational stuff is really good. So
yeah, I think well, that's one of the things
learn
we
from
talked
it too.
about, but the bigger one, like the more broadly applicable long term is like you just need to develop your sense of like what I mean, it's hard to teach this, but honestly, it's what sounds good.
Yep.
And it's like a lot about being honest with yourself. And I could see potentially if you're like under the influence and you're like experimenting with stuff musically and you don't necessarily know what you're doing, you could be like, whoa, that sounds crazy because it's like dissonant and it might be a different reaction than most people would have out in the wild. So I think it's just like you can practice that skill by
Sending it to feedback.
yeah, well, sending it to feedback is one way, but just trying like to duplicate and replicate stuff that you like.
Yeah, that's
Obviously,
true.
like learning an instrument can help, but not necessary. Just like through practice, really, and being honest with yourself about like, does this sound like good, or does it sound like weird bad, or does it sound weird good? Because there is weird good, of course.
There is. Yep. But it's
So
weird for a reason that it's uncommon. So
yeah, exactly.
when you hit that, you hit gold. But yeah, cool. But we're fascinated with this next track, Jokerhead. So
Fast track
we are
fascinated.
yes, fast track, fascinated Fridays. Into the void. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
How appropriate. 3, 2, 1. 7 months.
Oh yeah. That album art is sweet.
Yeah. How do you like this synth, Josh?
A little bit organic.
It really finishes the album art, actually.
I always like his drums, although it is always the same pattern. Not a bad thing, that's your style. feels a little top heavy.
Yep. I like that wobbly bass. I just want it to be louder.
Yeah, I agree. It's sort of like half on, you know?
Yeah. It's in there now.
I like that sound, but I want it to be quieter.
Yeah. That shit'll
I like this sound here.
Yeah, that's
The
cool.
fuzzy chordal thing, like edges distortion.
That little offbeat open hi-hat is very jarring a little. Ooh, that's a cool little
I
breakdown.
like the sparseness here. I think you could use this or like learn from this as like a subtlety, you know? Dude, we never hear space like this in your tracks. This is awesome.
Yeah. I think these synths would be cool, just they're a little too dry right now.
Totally just it's too organic.
Yeah. Party.
Interesting chord there.
Right.
Sort of James Bondish a little. That one. That's cool. Interesting. That one's not right.
That was what?
One is interesting. Chord 1's interesting. Chord 2 sort of could be resolved. Chord 3 is actually interesting. And then chord 4 is not right.
There it is, Into the Void, Jokerhead. Dude, I just got a funny imagery at the end there.
What?
It's like all these organic sounds, right? And
Uh,
like, like I think for the most part, until that last section, I think he was doing some stuff with dissonance that was kind of weird, but it wasn't anything that sounded too quote unquote wrong
no, yeah, totally.
until the very end. And like what I what I visualize is like the guy is actually starting to smell the toxic organic sounds that are being executed somewhere else. You know, maybe it's
Being
him farting into
executed.
his own suit, but then he's just like, "Oh,
Uh,
getting thrown off here." Wah,
oh my
wah,
god.
wah, 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 like weird chords here and there. But
Interesting.
yeah, it's just really funny imagery that I just it just came into my head. But
Yeah.
yeah, appreciate you, Jokerhead. Appreciate it. Um, that was one of my first impressions. But what do you have for vibes?
I will say, maybe it was because we were trying to really focus on stuff and there's like a bunch of weird shit happening and it was changing a lot, but I feel like it went by pretty quickly. It's almost 4 minutes, didn't feel that long. I sort of looked
Whoa,
up and was like, oh damn.
yeah,
So that's good. I think sometimes you just like you get lucky and like your groove or like the sounds you're doing or again the changes and variation you have like are interesting and they keep people locked in.
yeah,
Again, it could be just because of who we are and how the way that we're doing feedback and stuff, but I think that that groove to me felt like very sustainable, if you will. Like,
yeah.
I would keep listening to it and it kind of entrances you a little bit. So,
Yeah, that's crazy. Contrast that with the last song,
yeah.
That was like very professionally put together, mixing wise, I'd say, for except for the vocals. And there's a lot of the individual components that we thought, melodically worked really well and were very solid. But I kind of got bored by it at like 2 minutes in. It was like kind of crazy.
hmm
So
Yeah, I actually wonder like there was that middle part where it like kind of drops off. There's like much more sparsity, um, and it's not as busy, and then it comes back in. I
Mhm,
think that might be a big thing that just helps songs stay interesting.
mhm,
Like, and then we see it so often where there's just a song that is, like, essentially built on loops, right? It's built on being looped all the way through, and so somebody like, the first step in, like, the creation process is, like, you have something good, and then you, like, loop it potentially through the whole track, or you set up, like, a couple sections, but they're not different enough,
mhm,
and what you get is this very sort of monotone, like, energy, um, graph, right? It's like the energy level sort of pretty much just stays around the same throughout the whole track.
mhm,
And then there might be like a 2 or 4 bar like change, like the transitions between sections and stuff, or like a moderate difference between the verse and the chorus. But I think what I've always gravitated towards is songs where you've got like a very different section that breaks things up. Like before the second verse or something, like it comes way back down in energy level and then kind of smooths out, and just having more contrast in that energy graph. So instead of being kind of flat, right? It's like, oh, like interesting build and chorus is up here and then it comes way down and then like comes back up for the chorus and then bridge is like a different color. Like that's the kind of stuff that keeps people engaged for 3 or 4 minutes, right?
mhm,
And it's
mhm.
just so much easier with the tools to create something that's kind of the same throughout. So you have to
Yep,
always fight against the like defaults of the tools and like thought frameworks that you're using. But I think this does that well with that middle section. Kept
yeah.
us interested.
Kudos to you, Jokerhead. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that is crazy. I like, I'll just go back to the contrast again because, you know, in terms of initial vibes, we said it's very organic sounding, and what that usually means is it sounds like farts. So, like the synths, I think are just very, what is it? I think you described it as like high Q or like just very squelchy and like like very nasally. Sounds like
High
farts,
Q, yeah.
right? Yeah, like, so good. Um, but yeah, so there is some, if I were to tweak it just right away, like some of the main synths, I think turn down the that kind of resonance and squelchiness on those. I think that first bass, it could be louder, but another way to achieve loudness, is just giving it a little bit like more higher frequency. I think to like make it a little more squelchy. So I think that first wobble bass, I liked it. I wanted it to be a little bit louder, and you could maybe even put some squelch on it. Then it came in with the second wobble bass. It was just very pumped high in volume. Like we're like, oh, now it's too loud. So it's pretty sensitive. And maybe you could achieve that like dynamic change or perceived dynamic change just by changing its timbre a little bit, letting more of the I guess cutoff filter, uh, putting it in the higher frequencies. But yeah, in general too, when it's very squelchy like that, and there's no kind of processing on it, like I didn't hear really any sort of reverb or delay. Um, so it's just very present and very squelchy, and I don't know if it really felt the vibe of what this genre, what I've come to know it as, and even like the album art. Um, I imagine like they have like a big room kind of sound, big empty kind of feeling, and an empty room would have reflections and stuff, right? So it was kind of weird, and I think you usually do that. So I don't know what process you're in this track, but I got to mention it. So overall, I'd say with the structure, it's a good start. I think that last section could use some work melodically. Um, but yeah, it's a good start. There's things to like. There's things to fart on, but there's things to like. So uh, overall vibes, I think I'm at like 40% between green and yellow. What about you?
Um, yeah, I think I'll say 50% actually between yellow and green. Because I liked those like quieter sections, just the space that they had, the way that it tied the whole like structure together. And like the groove just throughout kind of
The groove was nice.
was nice. So
Mm,
yeah.
it's true. Content. What you got?
Um, yeah, I mean, we talked about a lot of content stuff, I think.
Yes, we did.
Maybe in terms of like, again, those sounds, like some of those synths were just a little bit too like, like they felt like kind of jagged or like rough, and all of these characteristics are just like too much high mids, right? Like too much attack, which are the same thing. Basically, attack is high mids.
Mhm.
So it's just wrong waveform.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
that's
we
what it
got a
comes
chat,
down
by the
to,
way.
right?
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
I
What's up?
saw
Peace
that.
now.
I,
You guys know that banger song from the Six Flags commercial with the old man? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, of course. Why do you ask?
yeah.
I
Why
like
do
the
you
emotes,
ask?
man. Yeah, the emotes are pretty cute. But anyway,
Oh
sorry,
yeah,
I interrupted you.
nice. No, but I think we talked about a lot of the
Yeah.
content side. You've got like good structure going on. You've got a good groove. Really like the drum sounds. That bass at the beginning was just too soft. Like it was the opposite. Like it didn't have that like high mids, like attacky stuff to it. It was just like, and it didn't feel like it had much texture and not a lot of dynamic variation. It just sounded like turn the velocity up on that sound if it's a MIDI thing and get some more juice out of it.
Mhm.
Or yeah, I'm not sure what that's made of. If it's made of MIDI, that might be the way to do it. But yeah, and then I don't know. Other than that, I think like some interesting content here. Maybe also musically, that's content too.
Yeah.
We can talk about the chord thing at the end. So like throughout, I think everything was fine. Like melodically and harmonically, it all made sense, except for at the end there. Like
Mhm.
it was really harmonically. So there were like four chords I think that you were repeating, and the first one was like some sort of maybe diminished, like half diminished seven thing or something. Like it was very much James Bond chord. And
Mm,
then the second one like didn't quite make sense, but it felt like it had enough voice leading from the first chord that it could be resolved into something. And this is like maybe a good advanced tip for you since you're so interested in making weird dissonance and stuff. And like Jacob Collier talks about this a lot, but
mhm.
it's possible to take any chord and make it correct.
What's up,
Essentially,
OPTV? Thank you for the follow. Sorry.
yeah, and make it correct. And it's really all about the way that these things evolve in time, right? So like in one bar you have any chord. Technically, it can be correct if it resolves to something that um, leads like proper voice leading, so or pleasing voice leading even. So like um, if you keep the notes like close to that chord and then like the chord after the incorrect one is correct in the key, it'll actually sound really cool. Like it'll be this cool moment of like there was something fucking weird there that magically became right, right
Hmm,
after it. And I
hmm,
felt like that was what's going to happen. And so it was sort of okay, but I'd say that second chord could use a little bit of work because it didn't quite
mhm,
resolve so cleanly into the third chord. But the third chord felt complementary to the first one, where it was
mhm,
like one of them was like a half diminished or something like that, and the other one felt like it was augmented, which like those two kind of complement each other. They're both a little bit James Bond-y,
hmm.
um, and they might both be in like the original like Bond theme songs and stuff. I'm not. I'd have to check, but
Damn.
um, that was like cool. Like it felt very much like that.
Hmm,
And that's a good example of like dissonance that's like not always in the key completely, but is like a cool dissonance.
mhm.
And then the fourth chord was just wrong. So that one was just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Use some voice leading, use some logic, think about the chord progression you're in, and then ultimately ask yourself, does this sound weird? And like,
Yeah.
and try not to listen to it a million times and then tell yourself it sounds good. Like,
Mhm,
honestly, with this kind of stuff, um, both with like the music and with anything in art, I think the less amount of time that you spend staring at it, the more accurately you can assess it.
hmm,
And that's really difficult, right? If especially the more beginner you are and the more time you have to spend on like basic small tasks, the more time you end up listening to it and the
mhm,
quicker you lose perspective.
mhm,
So that's like the biggest challenge. And if you ever watch these videos of like famous mixing engineers, telling you how they do their process or like showing you what they do, dude, they spend like no time on individual things. Like they just go into like a track and they literally make like a change that they spend like less than 5 minutes on often if it's like a small thing, and then they
mhm,
don't look back. They like
mhm,
adjust the fader, see how it sounds, don't look back. Go like keep moving forward because if you're trying to get the little things perfect each time, that you pass through, you're just going to completely lose perspective on everything else. And like a little bit of a tangent, but that's one of the reasons that I like top down mixing too, because you sort of like you knock out a lot of problems in the first go in the smallest amount of time by making your whole mix bus sound better. And so like you can sort of logically think about the fact that usually most instruments need some compression, right? And also like depending on the type of track, like if you're recording instruments, most instruments will need a little bit of EQ in certain areas that your mic or your room is like over or under compensating for. And so
Mhm,
if you make those changes first on the master bus, the mix bus, then you won't have to make as drastic changes to all of the other tracks and all of the layers below it. And then you go bus by bus and you say like the drums have this thing that I want to change or omit, or like I want to add reverb to this whole group. And as you go from top to bottom rather than track up, uh, it becomes quicker generally, and things feel more glued together, and it
mhm,
just is like faster, and you waste less time like blinding yourself. So bit of a
mhm,
tangent, but hopefully that's like useful advice. Because when I found that, it was like, oh my god, this is a way better way to mix than like going from the track up, because that just like doesn't work a lot of the time.
mm, mm, very nice tips there. A little bit in production, a little bit of content,
Oh
but
yeah, that was
it's,
production. Oops.
what? You have a score for content?
Mm, I think I would say 77% between yellow and green.
Oh, really? Let's
Yeah,
see.
because I mean, I like the structure overall. Fuck it, I'll say 80.
Okay.
Um, I like the structure overall, but I don't like some of the sounds and the
Yep.
way that they're played.
Yep.
Um, but overall, yeah, I think it's like 80%. It's pretty good.
I think I'm at like 50% between
Oh,
yellow and green. I think I agree with everything you're saying, though. I guess my dislike for the sounds might be a little bit more, though, just because it's very squelchy and it's squelchy throughout the whole thing. And
yeah, I can see that.
um, yeah, what I guess it's production too, but squelchy and dry. It's like, and it doesn't seem like that's what should be uh, your kind of style in this genre. It's just kind of glaring to me. But yeah, I do agree that the overall structure itself is pretty good. It kept me entertained, like I said, even though I liked the content of the other song, um, like the pure content. I think I liked it better. Uh, this one kept me along for the ride much longer. I was much more engaged. So you got something good there, Jokerhead. Um, but yeah, some good with the bad. And production. What do you have?
Yeah, I don't think I have a lot more than what I
Right, we kind of
said.
talked a lot too.
I think my favorite part is probably like the that middle section, again, where it gets quieter, and
Yeah,
there's one part that's got this really interesting, like a couple interesting textured
yeah,
pieces. I would seriously love for you to lean into that kind of thing more, and like lean into it hard. Like force yourself to like not have a lot in some of these areas of your track, like really try to make things sparse but not boring. And I think it's also about having that mix of simplicity and like sort of complex subtlety, right? So it's like you have less instruments, but the instruments themselves are like super well mixed. Like you've got here like that light distortion that's like
mm,
just the right balance. Like it's
yeah,
sort of that balancedness that is so appealing, and that's what makes a lot of music sound professional, is just the fact that it's balanced on all these different axes, and it's a lot easier to balance when you have less elements. And that's common in like every form of art and design. Even things that look complex are generally like have simple principles that govern them. So really like I would I would be so curious to see what you make, Jokerhead, if you focus on simplicity, reducing like your elements, and just focusing on the best parts and really going all in on them instead of like trying to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks, because it's just with music and sonically that usually doesn't work very well, or it's really hard to get a good sounding end result. So
mhm.
yeah, this is exciting to hear something kind of different for you actually.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. That stripped down part was really cool, and I thought that was one of the best sounds actually too, just from a
Yeah,
pure
yeah,
content perspective. I thought,
definitely.
and it seems like you were aware of that because you stripped everything down to it. Production. I already talked a lot about the volume mismatches and maybe the timbre of a lot of the instruments. So take that as you will, Joker. Did you give a final score for production?
um Overall, I think I would say this is at maybe again like 75, 80, somewhere between there.
I'll put mine at 69.
Yeah, sure.
That's where I think it is. Got to put it for the squelches. Give it up.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting about those. I kind of blocked them out.
Oh yeah, how could you? How could you? Overall, that might be around my average actually. 69. It's close enough to where I automatically magnetically snap to it. So that is 69 between green and yellow for me, Jokerhead. Um, yeah, good structure, but yeah, just I'd say work on the sounds. What about you?
Yeah, I think
Anything
I'll
work?
say 72. Give a
There you go.
couple brownie points there for
All
the
right,
stuff we haven't seen before, really. So yeah.
there you go. All right, Jokerhead, we love you, appreciate it, and uh, always a good sport with the feedback. And are
Yes.
you OPTV? Don't worry about it. There's two of us, so we will man the chat as needed.
Hmm.
We love it when people chat. We got a submission from the boy left out of existence. They're last in the queue. I'm not sure if that's you, OPTV. But just to let you know, we have Gowie, DOA, Waste Yourself, YS Santana, It's Shire, and the boy left out of existence. How many songs do you think we'd have left? Maybe three or four?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So we have Goey, Doa, Waste Yourself, and Y Santana, and then the other two, It's Shide and Boy Left Out of Existence. So if any of you guys want to get played next, you could tip us $5. We review music then in the order that it's submitted because that's fair. But some people need to make deadlines, so those people all they got to do is just tip us. We'll push them to the top of the queue. So if you guys want to get your song reviewed right away, and we do a very thorough review, um, it's that tip to skip button that I pushed there. So yeah,
Hmm.
feel free to do it and let us know if you're doing it so we can put your song up right away. If not, we'll just go to the next one. Um, but yeah, the boy left out of existence. Thank you for submitting. Actually, I think this next link might be invalid. Oh no,
No,
no, no,
no,
it's
it's
good.
the Gowie one, right? Gowie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Something popped up for me that was invalid. That was interesting. It's shitty. Huh.
Oh,
Okay. Well, yeah. So that's another thing too. Sometimes people's links expire for some fucking reason. So we might be able to get to you, but would you chance it? Up to you. We do it every week, but yeah, Gowie seems to work. So we'll go to Gowie next. Oops. The work in progress. It's called Back to Me. Um, why that just happened? There's no description. So let's see. That's me. Okay, that is you. Yeah. Let us know, OPTV, if you wanna tip and if you wanna go to the front of the line. We're uh, more than happy to do it. Just let us know. But if not, you could sit back and hope that a couple links expire. Actually, we have one already, so could happen, but it's unlikely.
4, 5, 6. Wait, we have 6, right? We have 7. I, it's pretty
7?
doubtful. Yeah, we have 7, don't we?
Do you mean for today or left?
We have 6, right?
And one of them doesn't work, so 5.
Yeah, I mean we won't get to 5, but if another
Right.
one doesn't, then maybe, but it's like less likely. If
Yeah.
2 more links don't work, then you will be reviewed, but that's unlikely. So I would say if you want to be reviewed today,
They vibing.
send that
They
tip. If you
vibing.
just vibe in, it's all good. We will
We
get to
appreciate the
you
vibe
next week if we don't get to you this week otherwise.
for sure. I think you followed us too, so yeah, you'll probably be like one of the first ones up next week if that happens. But yeah, if you vibe, just come listen to the songs with us and give your peers feedback too. That's how a lot of people, online can help each other. So
Yeah.
that's what we're doing. But
And
yeah, you
you
ready?
don't mind watching, like having you watching. So yeah, let's do it.
All right, appreciate you. All right, cool. Back to me, WIP, Gowie. You ready?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Duo.
Man, can you believe it? First submission of the night again. With my main man, Big Dick, Duck, Energy.
But
Bring me back, bring it back. You bring it back to myself, you bring it back to me.
is it like a weird pan for you? This is cool, by the way.
Yes.
It is some BC RB music, bro.
Let's form it.
Love
Come bring it back to me.
it. Ooh,
That's one I like. Jokerhead needs that.
yeah. Ah, nice break. Ah, I love it. it's not mixed, but what the fuck is happening with the stereo field here?
It wasn't that different to me.
Maybe okay, I might have to check my headphone plugin.
Yeah, I
Sometimes it
figured.
fucks
Bro,
up.
you need to like is it the adapter or something or the
Yes, I
extension?
think it's the adapter.
Nah, you gotta scrap that adapter.
Probably. It's like it was like weird. Like it was like all the drums and stuff was in one ear heavily, and then it was like a
Oh,
gradient. I don't understand. So if you didn't hear that, I'll try to see if I
I
could
don't
fix it.
think so.
Yeah. While I'm doing that, maybe you can do the vibes and first impression.
Yeah. Man, that was some real BC, some RB stuff. But no, it was good. It was obviously very short and to the point. Sort of like well, I guess this is a work in progress, so we don't really know like what you're gonna do with it. I like the formant shifting. That's always something I like hearing, and it's like not that common, I guess. It's not like it's uncommon either, but um, that was interesting. And that like those dubstep sounds were quality, pretty good. Hard to do
Bro,
that.
I think that it's so what I'm hearing is like the left ear is very low and heavy, and then the right ear is very high and heavy. You don't hear that?
Let me try from where in the song.
Just like from the drop.
Let me try it. Nah, I'm not getting that.
What the fuck? All right, well, I'm disqualified from feedback, I guess.
Are you plugged into an extension also, or just an adapter?
Extension, yeah.
Oh, dude, those extensions are no bueno. I would try it without the extender.
You fucker. This is the
Yeah,
extender you recommended me.
really? Wait, what extender
Yeah.
is it?
Is this the long ass one?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I used to use one when I had some weird audio setup in my basement, but yeah, I had noticed when I was using that, I would use it to like be on an electronic drum kit and listen from my laptop that it would sometimes do stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's just the contact between the jack and the output isn't always great.
Yeah, I mean, actually, mine without the adapter is worse.
Really?
Yeah,
Wh-
I just got a jank ass setup, bro.
Huh. But it's
Yeah,
a
don't.
Scarlet, right?
Yeah. It
So
might be the jack adapter that's fucking everything up.
all right, I'll
But
send you an Amazon link.
thank you. Yeah. Um. Damn. I mean, but that's the thing, right? I didn't hear it with any other song today.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
why I'm kind of like insistent, and I hear your voice just fine.
Hmm. Weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I went to the drop. It's not normal. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. I thought this was cool. This is awesome. Yeah. All the sounds were fantastic. That intro was funny. I did not think like you guys blew away my expectations because I thought it was gonna be fucking bad. What was it like big dick, big duck
Yeah.
energy or something?
Yeah, I was like, oh, here we go.
This is funny.
It was funny, yeah.
Ah man, that fucking drop hits hard, man. And it sounds pretty damn good, like for being not mixed. Um,
Yeah.
good energy. That sound, that triplet comes in. Oh,
Sounds
it's
good.
cool. It's cool, and it's not too shrill. It's not too shrieky. You guys keep the energy up, and you look like you're having a fun time. You guys seem like a fun couple of chaps. If it's a duo here, but yeah, that was cool. Vibes for me. I think it's like pretty much good, like 95 between green and yellow. For some reason, this fucking stereo thing it's getting to me. So I don't know,
Hmm.
but yeah, maybe
Uh
fuck me. So yeah,
I'm gonna say 90 for vibes.
oh yeah, why is that?
I mean, I think it's just not a song yet, right? I mean, it's got like elements of a song, but it's not like I don't think it's 90% of the way to being v- ready, sort of like
Oh yeah, for sure. There should
I
definitely.
like the vibes so far, and I think also like it feels like good building blocks right now to me. Um, I just I don't know what it's gonna look like as a whole song and when it's mixed because I think there's like the source sounds, the building blocks again sound really good, and in some places sound like almost mixed, but I could hear how it's not really like sort of polished yet, if that makes
Mm-mm.
sense.
True, true,
But
true.
content, any thoughts?
Yeah, if you're not careful, that intro could turn away people. Not like just the big dick, big duck, because I thought that was funny, but like it just as a whole sounded much less professional than when the drop comes in. When the drop comes in, you guys like elevate to
Yeah.
like a whole new level. And are people going to stick around for this long for this lone bass that's just
Duck,
and like bring it
energy.
back, very format shifted, very dry. Um, yeah, but you guys bring it for the drop too. I understand you want to build tension, so it's hard, but it's yeah, just be wary of that content wise. Other than that, man, everything sounded
You
pretty
bring
damn
it
good to
back to
me.
myself.
From the drop onwards, it was fantastic. Drums fat, bass fat, balanced, not too squelchy, and interesting enough. And that switch up was cool. Didn't hurt my ears. It's good. Um, content, I think I'm at like yeah, like Josh said, it's not a full song yet, so I'll put it at a 90. But I really like what's going on here between green and yellow. What about you?
Yeah, I think on the intro part, I mean, it looks longer than it is too because it's short. It's a short song. It's like about 20 seconds, which like isn't short either. But I think if you've got compelling enough stuff going on, it's like 20 seconds is reasonable. And there are popular songs that have like a weird intro skit section around that length. But I think like it wouldn't hurt to bring it down 5 or 10 seconds, so it's like 10 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
And also I just think that like once it's mixed, it'll probably make that whole thing sound more polished too. And like again, I think I've heard examples of like, you know, similar sort of intros where it's just kind of like, you know, uh shit's bubbling, right? And there's some sort of skit going on and then it goes into the actual song. And I think that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, again, content isn't completely there yet. It's just it's not the whole song, but like the building blocks are great. A lot of your sounds are really good. I think some production work is needed, but that's for production. Content. Do you give a score for content?
Sorry, what's up?
Did you give a score for content?
Yeah, I give it a 90.
I think I would give it a 70 for content, just because it's not all there yet. I don't think it's 90% there in terms of content.
True, true, true. I gave it such a high score because I really like everything that's going on, all the
Yeah,
individual
sure,
parts, and just as a whole, except for that beginning. I could see it drop down maybe to 85, but yeah.
sure.
Production. What do you got?
Um, yeah, and again, I think like again, the wub sound really impressive. It's really more content than production, I think, for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there could I like the format shifting stuff too. But I think overall, like you know what to do. It's really like just a matter of mixing it and mastering it and not going too overboard with the limiting. But I think you sound like you're on the right path and you know what you're doing. You got some real DJ gear looks like in the picture, so I trust you. But yeah, what do you think?
Fanny packed up, ready to go.
He's probably got a bunch of headphone adapters in that fanny pack.
Dude, send me one, bro, because the production comment I'll leave you with is just this weird thing, just in case it is happening, and in the rare event that nobody hears it but me with damaged hearing. Um, yeah, I'm feeling like there's an imbalance, slight, uh, frequency wise. It just seems like the left ear is very low, heavy, and the right ear is very high, heavy. I don't know if that's a result of panning as well. I couldn't really pick it
Yeah, I
out
feel
in
bad.
terms of panning for a specific instrument or track. It was just like the whole balance. So
Hmm.
that was kind of weird. And I didn't hear it with other tracks previously, so that's why I'm mentioning it here. Um, maybe I'll not put that into my production score because Josh or OP can't hear it, but I'll just leave that out there for you guys to address um, as a caution. But yeah, otherwise production.
You know
It's
what?
not what.
On that point, I will say the other tracks both were a little bit top heavy and didn't have nearly as much sort of low end oomph as this.
Hmm.
So it could just be that it's either like something shifted with the actual like contact of the headphones or something
Mhm.
to the jack, or the voltage or whatever just wasn't like an issue before because there wasn't as much low frequency content, or just
Mhm.
because there wasn't as much low, you couldn't tell that there's difference between the ears. I don't know, but I've heard like generally when you have a headphone contact issue or disconnect or something like that, the low end is the first thing that drops out. So that could be it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just listened back to the first song. Maybe I hear it a little bit. So, yeah, Great Assault. Everything else, though, yeah, I think you guys are doing good. The intro, I think, is the one that needs the most work in terms of production. It's just that bare bass by itself, very dry sounding, not very compelling by itself. And then that sweep that you guys use, same thing. It's kind of gritty, but not. I mean, gritty but not polished. That's what gritty is. But it's like, yeah, it doesn't sound like it's quite finished yet, and it's not. So, if there could be some sort of a space that grittiness is playing around in, um, especially in like that voice coming into the format shift. I don't think there's any sort of reverb on it either. Like, I would like to hear it kind of like come like out of a dark space or something, like emerge into the where the drop is, and the drop is crystal clear. Having a white noise sweep like that without any sort of reverb is kind of interesting to me. So yeah, but other than that, production I think sounds really, really fantastic so far. I'll put it at 70 for now between green and yellow.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 75.
Makes sense.
It's coming along.
Um, yeah, it's pretty impressive. Overall, that puts me at 83, baby.
Sweet.
Between green and yellow. What about you?
Um, yeah, I think I'll say 79. Just because it's like, it's a great start, great building blocks. Excited to hear where it goes. Just want to see where you take it as a whole track and with the production and everything.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it. I love this kind of music, so come back to us. Bring it back to me, Gowie.
Bring it back. Yes.
Appreciate you. But all right, we got DOA. Is that, yeah, DOA. DOA next. I'm gonna put
DOA means
Death of Autotune.
oh really?
Yeah, by Jay Z, bro.
Oh no, DOE no, or DOA traditionally means dead on arrival.
Oh, true. Oh God, that's not a good sign.
Nope.
Yeah, is
I
there
think there's a
songs? Is
there's a Foo Fighters song called DOA.
cool. Song title DOA Connection. Work in progress. No. Wait, did I click on the right link? Let's see. I don't think I did. No description.
Oh,
Track
DOA's
not
track
found.
is not found.
I
Okay, well
told
we're
you.
getting closer there, but we still have which one?
It's
Ed
shit. Is
Sheer's was
also yeah.
we still have
At least
3 though, and we're only gonna get to 2 at the time that we have.
it says on invalid link. I wonder why.
Yeah, he's just submitted it like 3 days ago. So wait, why does it look weird? Is that why?
Right. It looks like it's shortened.
Well,
You get
it's
the
an
full URL.
on dot huh. A lot of people have been sending these on dot SoundCloud links. Why would that be? Because that's not actually shortening the link. It's pretty
Hmm.
okay, interesting.
Let me see if I could troubleshoot it real quick. Does it
Wait a
work?
second.
Doesn't work for me.
Oh, what the hell?
Wait. There's no colon.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Something is
Okay.
missing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, mine it added like an HTTP
Yeah.
on its own. Weird. Okay.
All right. Well, you gain one, you lose one. So
Oh, so we do have his. Okay, but he's not
yeah.
up next yet.
No. We might not get to him actually.
Yeah, shit. Unless he
Okay.
skips, but I don't think he's here right now.
Yeah.
But maybe we should say while we're on this, Id Sheer, I just saw like a couple days ago. He signed up for something that we've been working on very, very hard behind the scenes. Chris is saying the link there.
What's that? Okay.
FastTrack is right now the stream that we've been running to give you guys detailed feedback on your music to help you make great music. But our long term goal is creating a platform that you can sign up for and use to get feedback from professionals in the music industry and potentially other artists as well. So this is a new platform system that we've been designing to help you get feedback easily and from people that have a lot of experience in different areas with mixing and songwriting and production and marketing, all that stuff. And we're also planning some other sort of life quality features for making your music release process easier and better. So just helping you release the best music possible. And again, you can sign up for this platform. It's like obviously free to join, and we're going to be opening our closed beta soon. A little bit of an oxymoron there, opening our closed beta. But we would love to have you users to test the platform out and see if it benefits you. Again, if we can help you improve your music with our feedback system. And RU Op TV said, "What if there are no genres in the type of music I produce on the site when I sign up?" It's a good question. The way that we're managing the closed beta process is sort of bringing in people on the like provider side and on the artist side that do match up in terms of genres, so that you have somebody who matches your style and experience, which I think should be super cool. If there's someone that you see and you're like, oh, like they've worked with this influence of mine, or they're in my style. So we definitely are taking that into account, and there should be somebody for you, hopefully. And if not, check back every week or every couple weeks and see if somebody new has joined. We're going to be trying to grow it as quickly as we can, so we get more and more professionals in different genres and areas of expertise.
Yeah, it's the kind of the chicken and the egg problem, right?
Mhm.
OP. So yeah, we'll try
And
to manage that on the building up of the site. But when it comes live, we'd hope to build that critical mass where anybody can find anybody.
yeah,
In the meantime, you could also just send it to us and we'll review it.
yeah,
We
definitely.
might be the fucking experts in that field though, because
And to
pretty good.
add to that, we would definitely encourage you, if there's somebody that you would like, you're like, in an ideal world, who would I want to get feedback from? Like maybe not like Justin Bieber, but like somebody who that you listen to, or you have seen them on streams or like on YouTube or whatever, or another artist that's big that you're like, or producer that you want to get feedback from. Let us know. Like send us their info, and we can try to get in touch with them and bring them onto the platform, and or there will be like an invite system, so you can invite them if you have their contact info directly. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's all being accounted for. So again, link is in the chat there. It's fasttrack.studio. You can just type that into your browser and sign up for the waitlist to join the beta platform, be a tester. You also there's a little checkbox if you submit a track, which some of you may have done, but if you didn't, and RUOPTV said you did, so that's great. But
All right.
yeah, I was just mentioning that because Id Sheeran said
It's
that he
here.
really likes what we're doing. He went to the website and signed up, so we're getting geared up, and yeah, hope
Oh
to
yeah.
have all of you on there.
Love you each today. Appreciate you. And we glad that your link works now.
Yes,
Maybe huge.
but we should start with
Waste yourself.
Waste Yourself.
Oof.
Nick Waste.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to you
Shh.
don't want to dox people like that.
Who?
Song title. Yeah. Nobody. My song title. My dentist said I grind my teeth. He's real AF for that. That's funny. It's a work in progress. He says next month's independent release. All right. So hopefully we can get the feedback to you in a timely manner. Although this was submitted, I think last week. Look at this waveform. That
It's
is
like a
bricked
brick.
up.
It's a
Yeah,
brick.
I'm
That's what they
bricked
call it,
up
brick
here,
walled.
bro. Yeah, bro. Waste yourself. 4.7K. I wonder what I'm gonna hear here. This is fascinating. I love the art already.
Yes.
Might be loud though, so be prepared for it. I hope my fucking ears or my headphones work. Sorry about that, guys, but hopefully Josh can give you a good, accurate assessment. But you
We'll see.
ready?
Yep.
All right. Waste yourself. 3, 2, 1. Not what I was expecting.
Oh, it is hyper compressed though.
Yeah.
It's got that ear fatigue thing going on.
Totally. So much.
You want to talk about underground?
That's cool though. Oh, that's scary. All clipped.
If he tell me doing sloppy, shit,
was cool.
It's so weird how it starts and ends so abruptly too. I don't know if that's like intentional. Maybe they want this like brick walled ass waveform. I don't
Right.
know, but it's yeah, it's I'm sort of mixed about it.
Phew. Sorry, I just listened to the intro again. That was cool, man. That was like artistry. I think that was very unique. Very unique. I thought I was
Yeah.
bobbing my head to that shit too. That was cool.
Hmm.
A lot of cool sounds. That little metallic kind of snare. It's like kink. Ah, that's fire.
Yeah. It was
But
like
oh my god, it's compressed as fuck, bruh.
I know.
Compress it when you need to. Don't do the whole thing. You know?
Yeah, I don't know why.
That
Why
first part with the war drums and big booms, like you don't need to compress that. Like that shit bringing up all of that low end and oof, yeah, it fatigues your ears
it's
right
just
away.
like the physics of it. I mean, this is like not you can look it up, but it's like when sound is too compressed, it makes it really hard to listen to basically.
Mhm.
Because the actual air is like it just affects the way that that your ear processes sound because there's less cues to work off of, and it makes it really like difficult.
Mhm.
It's weird.
Yeah. It is weird. Human body's crazy.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think there's a lot to like here. I think the drop, all the drops like just had fascinating things to listen to. I didn't get like tired of it at all. Um, I could even like there are some parts where I feel like this shit is a little bit too distorted, like to where it's stepping on its own feet. Like there's some cool kind of baseline stuff that I could just hear was being overpowered by everything else. And I thought I heard some sort of like distortion or clipping from it, like just way too brick walled, which is a shame because there's a lot of cool stuff happening. But I could almost tolerate that in the parts where it's supposed to be loud, um, just because of some of the artists that I've been listening to recently that kind of take advantage of that. But yeah, the to brick wall that first part. I mean, listen to it again. Like it's supposed to be like these war drums that are very transient and that are there's like a quiet little calm instrumental that's happening with it. Like
yeah,
there's no way it should be that similar to the drop,
yeah.
right?
There's just no reason to.
There's no way.
It's like I just think that the notion of like loudness wars is kind of outdated now.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm,
it's almost like for a long time that was like the forefront, and there were like reasons for that and stuff. But now it's like it's not hard to like compress stuff, right? There's no like skill required for that, as
mhm,
there in some ways used to be to get a good mix at least. Anybody can just apply a bunch of limiting and compression, and if that was truly good, it would mean that everything we hear would just be it would look like this, right?
mhm.
There's no like competitive advantage that you're creating for yourself in like just brick walling because
Yeah.
that's if you go to the music that's popular, it's not brick walled
Mhm.
uh, anywhere near this level, right? Like there's a lot of it's all expertise and balance is the only way to
Yeah.
get there. So like yeah, I sort
Yeah.
like
Maybe
every
the
once in a while,
transients would be close to the limit there, but, like, not
yeah,
like, look at that, though. Look at the beginning, guys. Like, there's big transient war drums that are going on that should be a lot of has, like, a lot of space, but because you limited it so damn hard, like, you can't see it. It's crazy.
hmm.
So, sorry. I cut you off.
No, did you have like any other vibes, thoughts, or score?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, though, I through a lot of it, I really had a good time listening to this, and I think this is really cool. I think this is an artist that's uh, very artistic
Hmm.
for my lack of vocabulary. I thought this was a fun listen. I didn't get tired of it. Love the sound choice. Just the production wise, I think it was just way too stomped. So it looks like you have a release date of 424. If you could get a last minute mix change, I would. Or if you want to change it after the fact, if I were you, I'd do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, um, yeah. So my vibes, I think there's a lot to like. Uh, and I like this artist. I think I'd listen to more of their stuff. It's just, yeah, it's a little heavy on that gas pedal there. So I'll go be 79, 80 between green and yellow. What about you?
Yeah, no, I also liked the there's like some uniqueness to what's going on here, like
Oh yeah.
just the art and like the your persona and profile it seems like and the sounds and the sort of like foresty, like tribal, almost sounding like percussive elements to it, and
Yeah.
is cool. It reminds me in some strange way of like, is it Doodle Bob? Is it? Is there some component to Doodle Bob living in like the forest of the underwater or something?
What?
I swear to God, I thought there's something like that, or maybe I'm thinking of
Doodle Bob?
a different episode where like SpongeBob's like a cave person or something.
Oh,
It
yeah,
sort of has
Caveman
that.
SpongeBob
Yeah, it sort of
or when
has that.
SpongeBob gets lost? I don't
It
know.
has some, yeah, it's like those vibes all together. That
Okay.
weird, that space, but
Yeah.
I don't know, like it's a unique style.
Yeah, I'm getting, like, high five ghost from his profile picture there, from regular
Yeah,
show, that kind of vibe.
I was like, I mean, I just was focused on my volume knob honestly a lot because I was like
Mm,
turning down and it wasn't getting any less fatiguing, which is what happens when it's too compressed.
mhm,
You can actually listen at very quiet volume to something that's too compressed, and it'll still sound like oddly ear fatiguing. Sometimes it actually gets more ear fatiguing as you turn it down
mhm.
because your ear is struggling even more to make out what's happening because there's no dynamics. So that's that's what I was experiencing. So for vibes, I'm gonna give it a 60% between yellow and green.
RUOPTV says, "Sour piss?" I love the
Sour
compression.
PIs or
Yeah, sour police? I don't know. I love the compression. People love the compression, man. People, in general, think louder is better, and
not?
you
Well, I
know,
wouldn't say in general because if that was the case, then it would be more successful, which it's not. People
but
like
it is right. Like with
compression,
the loudness wars and stuff in general.
yeah, but
Sour,
right, having the right balance of when you get to the ceiling of right,
right?
everybody has the same ceiling to work with, and once you get there with your peaks, and there's this balance between the peaks and the troughs, and
Yep,
it's beefy enough but not compressed to the point of ear fatigue.
yep,
That's when you go big.
yep,
That's when you're successful and it sounds amazing.
yep.
But you don't see stuff that's a brick like
Yeah.
this because it's obvious why.
Mm,
But I think the compression is a little bit of a tough one to say through the stream, just because the audio isn't necessarily coming through exactly as it is to us, or it would to you from the actual streaming service, because
oh,
it's
by the
going
way, it's
through all these
down.
protocols and stuff. Yeah, no, I know it's down, but we're not listening right now.
True, true, true.
It's gone
Yeah.
down a couple of times. Um,
Fuck, man.
but yeah, I have trouble relying on that because my best guess is that everything that everyone's heard before on the stream here has probably been more compressed than we're hearing it too.
Mm,
And I don't really know what else they're doing. I actually wonder if they're doing any sort of expansion or something to get out of the compression. Who knows?
mm, mm.
But anyways, yeah. What about content?
Um, I think I love the content. I think the content's fantastic. Um, there are a lot of interesting sounds going on. Maybe the only one I didn't like it sounded like it was literally like knocking on my headphones. It was like
Hmm.
"Gak, gak, gak." It was almost like a weird rhythm that seemed like off the grid. It was just like unless somebody knocked on my door and I just thought it was the song. But yeah, I think it's in like the down sections that are still loud, but it's not the drop. Um, I try to point it out when I was listening to it. So if you can pick that up, waste yourself. Don't waste yourself, but yeah, you make good music. Um, but yeah, other than that, man, I loved a lot of what's happening, and I feel like I could listen to it again, even though it's fatiguing. I could listen to it again and appreciate something new about it. I think,
Hmm.
and it was just such an awesome groove. Like you saw me bobbing my head to it. I really liked it. So content wise, I'm pretty happy with it. Uh, I think it's a pretty good like song overall too, structure wise. I think I'm at maybe 90 between green and yellow. I think it's pretty good. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was some cool stuff to it, and again, maybe I was a little distracted, but um, I don't know. To me, it kind of sounded very much the same throughout the whole thing.
Hmm.
It was like that same groove, kind of, and I might have just missed a lot of the nuance because I was focused on the production, but
Yeah, it stayed
I
pretty
don't know.
loud.
I'm surprised how into this one you are. I might just have to listen to it again, but I'll just
I
leave it
like
at
it.
that. And I think I'd give it a 70 between yellow and green.
Damn, there you go. Yeah, I like the griminess of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Production wise, we talked about it a lot.
yeah.
Do you have anything more you want to add?
No, not really.
Mhm. Yeah, I think a lot of the sound design was cool for all the different noises that were happening.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But yeah, it's fucking brick walled, and just bring that shit down, and especially in the areas that don't really need all that compression, like in the beginning, like let the transients kind of take us in, you know.
Hmm.
Don't make it so damn boomy, and then the drops don't crush it to where I can't really pick anything apart, you know. Unless you're trying to go for the clipping effect, but like it's like you gotta be really good at that, you know, or else it's just wrong. So there's artistry in that too. But yeah, production, I'll put maybe 60 between green and yellow, 65 at this point. What about you?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go 50% between yellow and green. Because again, there's some good sound design stuff happening, but it's just the overall mix and master is a little off the charts.
Yep. Overall, that puts me at this stage. I think I really like what's going on, so I'll put at 77 between green and yellow. It's just
Yeah,
fatiguing at this point, but
yeah,
yeah.
sure. I think I'll say 69.
All right, baby. We love that score around here, around these parts.
Yup.
Yes, sir. And shout out to your artist, man, or if it's you, like cool stuff. I love the album art. It's a little creepy, a little discerning,
Yeah,
but
we've had some good album art today.
that's what we like in general. I like your profile too. It's just cool. Um anyways, we have time for one more, guys.
Mm-hmm.
One more. We got Waya Santana, we got Id Shire, we got Boy Left Out of Existence. Let's see if Waya Santana's link worked before I open my damn mouth. Because it's all three of them should work.
Yes, it does.
Okay, looks like it does. All right, so this is the last chance. Anybody in the chat, including OP, shouts out to OP. We appreciate you for sticking around if you're still there.
Mhm.
But in general, you know, you stuck around for a while and gave people some feedback. It was nice. A little pog there too. But yeah, if you want to tip to skip, this is the time to do it, or else we'll push you to the next week because we get to everybody. So I don't think there's gonna be much response. It looks like there's only one person in the chat, and it's probably me. So I'll do a countdown as usual.
Oh,
5, huh?
It's 2 now.
Oh, really? I got one, but
Yeah.
5. Tip to skip. One more song. It could be you. $5. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let us know. 1. Sold. Nobody. Okay.
Sold to the free one. Let's go to
Free line. We'll go to
YS Santana.
Simply remix. You ready?
He's got
This
that
guy with the
Mercedes.
full camo, bruh.
Yeah. Holy
Right.
matte blacked out Mercedes that you never know if it's
The
actually
license
theirs.
plate is gone too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. But you ready?
It's like a European license plate.
Yeah, it's interesting.
All right. Anyways, let's do it.
All right. It's garage. Garish.
Oh, that makes sense because cars are in the garage.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay. All right. Let's stop this guy. Let's get to the music. You ready?
Let's do it. Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Jake from State Farm here to answer your.
Did you get an ad?
No.
Hold on. I have to refresh.
All right.
This is so weird. Oh, maybe my ad block is not working right now.
No worries.
Sorry about that. Okay, let's try it again.
All right, ready? 3,
Yeah.
2, 1. I fucking love Garage, dude. Garage is so cool. Or Garish.
Alright, one more dub and it's back to business. I'm a real G and your dad's a witness. Boy, Joe Broad and your sister begged it. I told that little bitch don't ask for pictures. I do this to
Weird
fitness. Put them cowie boys in business. Fallouts at the next family function. The cowies are gonna have an awkward Christmas. So why you love to talk about mum so much? Where's yours? Let me just allow it. Let me just pause. Now fuck that man, I got a done the virus. Sorry, Wiley, you should have been the one to guide us. But since you wanna diss my mum so much, let's talk about why you moved your mum to side.
Ah, cool.
When the woman was scared in the house car, you put her life in danger, you prick. Bricks and shots just fly through your window. You couldn't be the person to save her, you prick. Instead of you to squeeze the pumpy, you said, yo, mum, you gotta leave the country. I never wanna hear you say free the man them. Let's go Cyprus and go free your mumsy. Got mumsy banged up abroad. All because of some of the flaws. Can't handle this, so she handles dick like I handle the wall. I ain't funny anymore. Cause I'm not a happy bunny anymore. Then you really wanna bring it to your mummy anymore. So your dad can't defend your bro, and you can't defend your mum. But I wonder what she thinks. All the males in your family are weak things. Gather around, man, this is just a pre-drink. Ripping the weave off my mum's head. Oh,
Getting
that's
hurt
a
a little
lie. What we telling facts or joke? Instagram, so say what you like them. That would have dubs, let's have a fight them. Don't mention them niggas, I don't like them. Fuck all them niggas, they ain't my friends, so don't hang them. Mum's life, man, I got a
guy's
in the
cool.
mouth, huh? Niggas got mad, this nigga in the south, huh? You weren't on it, your dad weren't on it. Guess your mum should have had a real nigga in the house to defend her. Broken woman, I wanna bend her. Fuck her back and then bend her. So much loving, I wanna lend her. So much money, I wanna send her. Where can I send it? Yeah. Well, you're putting her through, I wanna end it. I like that you're not self-centered. You open the door and look who entered. Always the king of grime, king of grime. How's he the king of grime, but on drill? Now I'm the king of grime, I won't chill. King of grime, always no big deal. See this thing, yeah, I run that. Keep your crap, we don't gun that. Come on the mission and let your gun clap. Start petition to get your mum back. She wants to come back, come back, come back. Oh Lord, you got mumsy banged up abroad. You got mumsy ran off the ends. And it's foul cause it ain't her fault. She was trying to relax, but her son got caught in a war. One day there's dons at the door, the next day Heathrow, terminal 4. It's a shame, what she needed was a strong man in the house. Fuck that, I'ma be the man in your house. Like, we'll come home, there's a man in the house. Like, your mum was the only real man in the house. Shower on the rhythm and I'm showering the man. Thought it was love, we were sour on the slide. Hey, fuck boy, let me know how you wanna die. 24 hours to reply.
Sometimes I get thrown off a little bit though. That beat.
Love that.
Why is
Dude,
Santana
oh my God.
simply remix with an Elliot Nisbet? Dude, this vocalist sounds like he's dope at grime.
Yeah, man.
I almost wonder if this person's like bigger than I think they are, or if this is like the producer. Okay, yeah, remix like
With Elliot Nisbet.
right. Like I wonder if this is the
Oh,
producer who made the beat, and like
remix.
Elliot Nisbet is like a bigger act, because that was fantastic. There was some. Oh shit! Can you
I
hear me?
looked up Elliot Nisbet.
Yeah.
On Instagram, he has like 2,600 followers. So, I mean, he's not like huge, but that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's got some sort of following. I don't even know if it's just the person or if it's Y
Is that
Santana.
the right? Yeah. Huh.
I don't know, but that was
Interesting.
cool, man. Yeah, I really like that a lot. That first flow, I almost felt like it seemed like a little bit slid off to the grid, like a little bit behind just in general. It might be one of those things where it's like a pocket thing that if the more you listen to it, the more it fits, but I don't know, it threw me off a little bit cuz everywhere else I feel like he was fire on the flow. Witty with the bars too, funny. I couldn't hear it all because of that just thick accent that he's got going on, but I fucking love that shit. That shit that goes on in grime and drill, like so cool.
As
And
for
it's
the
cool voice.
yeah, I was just gonna say for the intelligibility, I think there's a little bit of like masking or clashing. Just that bass, that sub bass thing is like so present that I wonder if it's been stress tested in like a car or with like an actual subsystem. It might be too loud. But that was sort of like the high water line of just like being surrounded by bass to where it was making it a little bit hard to make out the vocal at some points, and maybe also just like the stereo field of the drums and the frequency of the drums getting in the way a little bit, and or the vocal probably could have been turned up a little bit.
Yeah. I
I
mean, there's a lot
also
of stuff that like pops in and out, and I think that shit also kind of just buries the vocal when it comes
Yeah,
in.
because some of that stuff's pretty loud volume wise
Yeah.
too, so it's volume, EQ, and compression, as it usually is, but it also sort of, this is more production, but fuck it. I think it sounded a little bit like not completely done production wise, like also that chordal thing, I don't even know what you'd call that, the thing that was doing like the dun 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 dun,
Yeah.
was a really nice like round sound, but I think it could have used a little bit more brightness or grit or edge or something to like help us be able to process it and hear it better. It was a little bit too sine wave at this point, and given just the octave that it was in, it was like a little bit hard to make out exactly what it was doing. Made the mix sound a little bit muddier than I think it could have. I think it could sound a little bit more clean and minimal, with the
I
same
hear that.
elements where they just can become a little bit clearer, and it would make this sound even more like, I don't know, like the whole thing was like I could imagine a music video of this where it's just in like a white room with like some cool like outfits and like sunglasses or something, like
Yeah.
kind of that sparse vibe.
For sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could hear what you're talking about. I would like a little bit like of like attack on it. I think
Yeah.
listening back to it, it is kind of plucky, but I do like the production overall of the sound choices and a lot of cool panning things.
Mhm.
Musically, I think this is awesome. I got to get into more grime and garage. I love this shit.
Yeah,
Garage
it's cool.
and drill. Yeah, man, that was fun to listen to. Uh, yeah, vibes then. Overall, I got probably 95 between green and yellow. I really like this.
Yeah, I liked it too. I'm gonna give it a 92.
What is this? You got to let us know, Santana. Simply remix with Elliot Nisbet. Like, who are these guys? Are you remixing a vocalist, or are you a vocalist? Let us know because this is cool. I really like this, both production and um, vocals. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think you got the voice to do it. Do the grime. Um, content. What do you have?
I was just gonna mention we've got Raft Year said, "Hello, how does one get the feedbacks?" We sent you the form, and I think you submitted. Was gonna mention we are approaching the end of the stream. This is the last track we're doing today. But we got your submission. We go through all of the ones that we get. So we stream every Friday at this time, 5:30, 7:30 Central.
Good night, OP. Sorry.
And yeah, OPTV, I was gonna address you too, but you're gonna come back Friday if you have time. So that's great. You and Raftier will be up just after Id Sheer. So there's the three of you basically. So you should all be reviewed next week. Again, same time, 5:30 to 7:30. Follow us on Twitch. I know RUOPTV you already did, so that's
Thank you.
great. And yeah, we'll go through all of the outro stuff in a few minutes, so you know where else to find us and stay updated. But we can continue with this uh,
Yep.
content. I think uh, it's pretty sick. I mean, there's some really interesting just like concepts that are going on with the way that
Yep.
you're arranging this, and obviously like the flow is awesome, and just the whole vibe is really cool. Um, and it's like not too dense. It's like I don't know. It just feels like one of those well balanced things that could really take off. It's like really kind of perfected, and I think it's very close. But what do you think?
Yeah, I loved a lot of it. There are some bars that I caught that I thought were like very witty and very funny. It's like a song that doesn't take himself too seriously, but also just like saying like I'm doing this shit, you know, grime. I'm the best. It's just a fun kind of bravado song. Like one of them, like for example, I think he was talking about like this girl like doing some hoe shit or whatever. And at some point, he just takes like one bar and goes whore. Like he just says the word whore. It's just so funny, man. Like
Yeah.
I love shit like that. He's just having fun. Um, yeah, what's not to like here? I think the beat's cool, the vocals cool. Just don't bury yourselves. The vocalists, like I'm trying to catch all those bars, so make sure that they're kind of in the forefront. A lot of cool stuff happening though, percussion and instruments. I don't think I disliked anything that was introduced. So yeah, content, it's pretty high. I'd say 95 between green and yellow. I really like it. What about you?
Yeah, I think I can agree with that.
There you go. Production. What you got?
Uh, yeah, I think that like overall it's pretty good. It feels like it's sort of in the process of being mixed, where it goes from kind of like raw to cooked, and it's like almost there. There's just a couple things that don't
Al
feel like
dente.
don't feel like they've been addressed yet, which is like the warmness and lack of definition of that chordal thing. Even though I really like it and I like it being warm, it's to the point of like not being completely intelligible.
Yep.
And so I think just like adding either a little bit of like saturation or something like yeah, so like some really light distortion or like just saturation or like tape emulator or something like that could help maybe on it to be really
Or just a
subtle.
sharper attack, I would say.
Yeah, it depends like what form you have the thing in, what it's made
Yeah.
of, right? Like is it MIDI? Is it a sample? What is it exactly? But I mean that plays into attack too. I mean, again, like I was saying earlier, attack and distortion and high frequencies are in some ways equivalent. It's essentially like, is your sound made up of just like low frequency, like fundamental frequency sine waves, or is it fundamental frequency sine waves with overtones stacked, and to what extent do those overtones exist? And then are there other complex waveforms? And all of that stuff just amounts to, is it fundamental frequencies or is it fundamental plus high frequencies? So that's why I say, like, there's different ways to achieve it. Like saturation can do it, distortion can do it, because those are essentially the same thing. And like adding attack can also do it because it modifies the waveform shape. So just a little science bit there. But
Science.
yeah, but yeah, I think like overall it sounds very clean. I think it's just, it can be even cleaner, and that will make it sound really professional and awesome. But will you have anything else for production? Vibing out there?
No. Yeah, mostly just like don't bury the vocal, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, exactly.
especially when Mandem trying to get fucking technical with his flows, and then I don't understand what he's saying,
I
and then
know.
shit's going crazy with the production. I'm just like,
And test the bass on a sub or a car, especially a car. See if
yeah.
it's
I
too
mean, I
overpowering.
think for the most part, it sounded pretty balanced. It's just those, especially when those fresh parts come in and change stuff up, and then there's cool stuff happening in the stereo field. That's cool, but it's like the vocalist gets destroyed in that section, and
Yeah.
I don't hear what he says. So it's got to be about subtlety, or you do it when the vocalist is kind of less in it. So yeah, but yeah,
And
I think it's on its way.
yeah.
Production. Um, maybe I'll say 75 between green and yellow. What about you?
Yeah, no, I think 75 is accurate. It's on the way. There's nothing like super bad. It's just like can be cleaned up even more, mixed even more.
Hmm. Cool.
Dope.
And track total, man, I like this a lot. I'll put it at 89 at this point
Ooh,
between green.
I was gonna say 88.
There you go. Hate
Dope.
on him, not me.
Like it.
Okay. Sweet. All
Good
right,
shit.
guys, that's all. We appreciate it. We talked about the website earlier, but one more time before we leave, I guess for the one viewer that's viewing, Josh, do you want to bring us out?
Yeah, link is in the chat. FastTrack.studio is the platform that we've been building behind the scenes to help you get feedback, kind of like this, except in a sort of storable format that you can, continue to reference and compare feedback from industry professionals that we're inviting to the platform that you can get feedback from, people that have experience in your genre and different areas of the music release process, all the way from songwriting through to release, promotion, all that stuff. And more that will be coming as well in terms of getting help on your music and getting help managing the music release process, making your life easier. So that's the platform we're building, FastTrack.studio. You can go to the website, link in the chat, sign up for beta. And then we will be letting people into the wait list, so you can test the platform out, see if it benefits you, and let us know how we can improve it. And hopefully you'll get some value out of it. It'll be worth your while. So that's that. Make sure to follow us on Twitch here so you find out when we go live. We're here every Friday from 5:30 to 7:30 Central Time. Join or follow us on Instagram, so FastTrack_music right there, and join our Discord.
Oh god, oh god, oh god.
We've been getting some momentum on that. Somebody posted an EP that they released, I think, today in
Huh.
the Share Your Music channel there. So Discord has been heating up lately. We've had
Sheesh.
new ads every stream, so jump in there, join the community, join the action, and shit. Other than that, you got anything else?
Happy Friday, y'all. BC some Red Bulls.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. We made it to the end of the week, Friday. Have a great weekend and all of that. And
Yeah.
yeah, if there's nothing else, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Bullet! Later, guys.
Later, alligator.